Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky on the line with us. Schakowsky.house.gov is her website. Congresswoman, in the last hour I was debating whether it's appropriate to say that you are my hero or my heroine.
Either one is great.
Okay.
Thank you. And you're mine, so that's good. And congratulations on your record as number one.
Thank you. Yeah, Talkers Magazine, 3 years in a row now. And more than twice as many stations as any other show, any other progressive show. But not to brag. You have announced legislation that would create 2.2 million jobs, the Emergency Jobs to Restore the American Dream Act. Can you tell us about this, please?
Well, it begins with a pretty simple idea that if you want to create jobs, create them. You want people hired? Hire them. We have so much work that needs to be done in this country that I'm saying we ought to spend some money. We can pay for it all by asking wealthy people and the corporations to pay a bit more and put them to work doing things like the School Improvement Corps, which would create over 600,000 jobs fixing up our schools around the country, or the Park Improvement Corps that's in my bill that would have 100,000 jobs for youth 16 to 25 years old. The Neighborhood Heroes Corps, hiring 300,000 teachers, new teachers. These are all additional jobs. 40,000 new police officers and 12,000 firefighters. And the Health Corps, which would hire 40,000 health care providers. Child Care Corps, 100,000 jobs in early childhood education. And early Head Start right now is on the chopping block. This would make sure that we have the money for that and the jobs. Every cent that is in this bill goes to an actual job. This is not incentivizing companies in the hopes that they'll hire or giving tax breaks to the so-called job creators who have been nothing of the sort. This is about jobs, real jobs for actual people.
Wow. And when we look at the numbers, you said, and we can just tax the wealthy who can afford it. Let me just toss some numbers out here. If we compare today with 1961 and we adjust everything for inflation, so we're comparing apples to apples, and millionaires in 1961 actually paid. Forget the tax rate. The top tax rate was 90%, but they actually paid 47% of their income after they made $1 million in taxes. And corporations in 61 actually paid 43% of their corporate taxes, or corporate profits in taxes. Today, corporations are, I'm sorry, I flipped that. Today, it was corporations paid 47%. Today, they're paying 11%. Millionaires paid 43%. Today, they're paying 23%. So if we were to...
unless you're John Paulson, a hedge fund manager that brought in about $5 billion last year, and he pays mostly at 15% rate. I don't know what he actually paid because he probably got to some deductions, but that's what hedge fund managers pay.
Right. That's this wonderful thing. For the people who make their living sitting on their butt around the pool waiting for the dividend check to arrive, their maximum tax rate is 15%, or hedge fund managers. But my point is that if we were simply to go back to 1961 taxation levels, and we were doing pretty good in 61 as a country, if we went back to those taxation levels, that would be a 300% increase in the taxes on corporations, and a 300%, and a 100% increase, a doubling of the taxes on millionaires. I'm guessing that you're not suggesting anything close to a 100% increase in taxes to pay for this.
I'm not. In fact, in my Fairness in Taxation Act, which could pay for this program, what I say that starting at $1 million in income, you pay 45%, ratcheting up to 49% for people who make $1 billion. That's not only less than that, 91%. I don't know what the actual was, and of course they would pay actually less than that on the total income, even with my tax rates. But it's less than Ronald Reagan had as a top top income bracket rate, which was 50%.
Right.
And so historically, these are modest rates to pay. I've gotten a good response from many very wealthy people who say, yeah, for the good of the country, and because I've done well in this country, and because I'm a proud American, absolutely I'm willing to pay my fair share.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, and here's the side effect of that, and it's a very positive one. As a small business owner for most of my adult life, back in the 70s, we had a business that really took off and was making a lot of money. And I remember my CPA sitting down with me and saying, you are now hitting a tax bracket where it's crazy for you to take money out of your company. And you should be leaving this money in the company and growing it rather than taking it out and then take it down the line, as equity out of the company, because I was making a lot of money. And
you had business,
and that was before Reagan. Pardon my interrupting.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
No, well, I was going to say that was before Reagan dropped the top tax rate. Once Reagan dropped the top tax rate, it was like all bets were off. In '86, Louise and I had another business that we had started, a travel agency in Atlanta that had hit $6 million in sales, and we sold it in '86 because Reagan was dropping the capital gains tax. And I mean, taxes actually do affect behavior. Higher taxes cause business people to keep money in their businesses.
Exactly. And what businesses need, as a small business, they need customers. To give tax breaks to the so-called job creators who, of course, didn't create any private sector jobs. There was a net zero gain in private sector jobs in the 8 years of the Bush administration. No, why would you hire more people on a line in a manufacturing plant or even another person in a restaurant if you don't have customers? So the real job creators are the American people who have money in their pocket to go out and buy things big and small, and then create the demand that leads to more jobs.
Yeah,
I think it's
this is not rocket science. So here's the question:
not rocket science.
How do you get this through? You're in the House of Representatives, which is now controlled by the Republicans, who are now the dog that's being wagged by the tail of the Tea Party. How do you get this into or through the House of Representatives when it seems that A, they're all hysterically anti-tax, and B, they're hell-bent for leather to destroy this economy so they can run against President Obama next November, a year from November, as the guy who's president during a bad economy?
Well, my mantra to my colleagues on both sides of the aisle is have the courage to stand up and follow. That is, follow the American people who are telling us clearly, even the Tea Party, a majority of people self-identified as Tea Party, say that the number one focus should be jobs and not debt reduction. These people are way out of the mainstream, and I think that if we mobilize and bring that. I'm calling you, by the way, from Wisconsin, where I'm here to help Bob Wirtz, who is
good on you,
the Democrat. Who they're trying to recall.
Yep.
And we have to learn from them, even though maybe it fell a little bit short of the hope, but. What a great accomplishment that two senators were recalled that go with Scott Walker in this attack on the middle class and jobs and unions. So we have to be mobilized to win these elections for the American people and start focusing on jobs.
There you go. And WisDems, as in Wisconsin Democrats, wisdems.org is the website if you want to help out with those programs. And Jan Schakowsky, Congresswoman Schakowsky's website, schakowsky.house.gov, if I have that right.
That's right. And they can find out about my jobs bill.
The Emergency Jobs to Restore the American Dream Act. Wonderful work. Thank you, Congresswoman.
Thank you so much, Tom.